I'm Fred Brown, council member for the 8th District of the Lexington-Fayette Urban County Government, and today I'm at the East Sector Roll Call Center, which is located on Center Parkway in the Old Gainesway Shopping Center. And with me I have Commander Holland, and I'd like to introduce him to you all.
I'm Commander Roger Holland. I've been with the Lexington Police Department for 18 years. Serve as the commander over East Sector Roll Call. I'm glad to be with you today.
A little bit of history about the East Sector. We started the sector program back in, I believe it was 1999 when I was on the council before, and this was this East Sector here was obviously just a great choice because of the location and the presence, and it had actually been here before in the 70s. So I was really requesting and worked hard for it to get back out here, and I understand from '99 when we got this, we refurbished this building here as part of the complex here. And I understand you were here in '99 also.
Yeah, I started my career here in 1998, and we transitioned to the sector system in 1999, and I was one of the original patrol officers assigned to the sector.
As far as the sector, go ahead and explain where the sector, the boundaries and the outlines, and what our intentions are to cover the urban county government.
Yeah, the sector system is specific to patrol, and it directs the resources of patrol. And so there are three sectors, and that's West Sector, Central Sector, and East Sector. And East Sector happens to be the largest geographical sector in the city. So it serves as a hub for officers to come, do their joint roll calls, meet with supervisors, and get all their information before they go out for the particular day, and to take calls for service. Calls for service are handled through the division of E911 Dispatch Center, and the officers are assigned to a specific beat within the sector, and they have a responsibility within that particular area for calls for service. East Sector routinely has the highest volume of calls for service within the city. We roughly respond to 6,500 to 7,000 calls per month, and that's both priority calls and non-priority calls for service within the sector.
Well, obviously the police department, we wanted to promote the roll call center and the presence that it has in our community, but you all do a lot more. The officers do. You do community outreach. You visit schools, neighborhood associations. We had a meeting the other day with at the Gainesway Community Center there, where we had principals from the Tates Creek school system and the Mill Creek school system, and how we can work with them, how the police department can work with the community and the education system and everybody involved. We had social workers there, and we had neighborhood people there, and if just enlighten us a little bit, how you're all promoting that.
I think it's important that we are engaged in interacting with the community. We feel like we're one spoke in the wheel in order to ensure that our communities are safe and that they're secure and that we're dealing with quality of life issues. So we're always looking for the opportunity to engage with neighborhood associations. So if there's an association that would like an officer to come and talk about activities that are going on in the neighborhood or concerns, we obviously are available for those opportunities. But we've done some Partners for Youth activities where officers have gone engaged with the youth here during their summer programs. We're currently engaged in the opportunity and getting into some of the schools, whether that's through engagement and meeting with the students during lunchtime and just having general interactions with them, to showing up for an elementary school reading and doing some a book reading with the class. So we're open to just about any opportunity in order to foster that positive relationship in our community.
Well, I'm very supportive of that and have been for some time. And one of the things that I want to do while I'm on the council is perhaps I want to increase the officer level and patrol. And one of the areas that we're very much in, and I think the rest of the council stands with me on that, is we want to get some neighborhood officers back on board. We used to have some neighborhood officers in the units that really they got to know the particular neighborhood. So we're working on that from our level to try to get some more involvement there. And I think you're aware of neighborhood officers and what they can do and the ability that they can do in the community.
So what the Neighborhood Resource Program right now is run through the Bureau of Special Operations, and Officer Martini happens to be the resource officer that assists us here in East Sector, and we're engaged daily with him about community needs. And you're correct, there's an opportunity not to be directly responding to calls for service and deal with community issues. And one of the things that we're doing is Officer Martini is actually going to do some in-house training, which allows for additional training and knowledge for the resources that he's got to him every single day, to spread that amongst the officers who work out here on a normal basis. So we're not creating officers who are just merely responding to calls for service to take a report, but we're training our officers to be reactive to community needs and to work on quality of life issues in the neighborhoods.
But as you know, in most cases, you still need more officers to get into those other areas that we don't have for patrol. We got to, you got your priorities and you got to take care of those. But if we can get some more officers on the street, I think we can take care of some of this community involvement and crime prevention and partnerships with neighborhoods and things of that nature. It's there. It always has been. It just in different segments. And what are we doing to control that? Are we doing a better job than we used to?
Yeah, I think the mindset is in the right place. I mean, we're looking for those opportunities where maybe before we weren't. We're very open and willing to be engaged. And I think our officers are more aware and better trained to go out there and just like we talked about, not just to be the officer who comes and takes a report and passes that report on up, but they're looking to be engaged and to solve problems.
Well, technology has certainly helped, I think, in that. So I think we got a lot of good information, Commander Holland, but I think there's some officers here that we would like to hear from them. So let's bring some on and you introduce them.
Okay, the first is Lieutenant Perkins. He's assigned to East Sector, second shift, and responsible for the shift. And I'll let him talk to you a little bit about our power shift and his responsibilities there on second.
I'm Lieutenant Perkins. I'm in charge of second shift. One of the unique things about East Sector second shift is that we have a power shift. It operates outside the normal second shift hours. We actually begin 2 of our squads at 2 p.m.
Sir, how long you been on?
I've been with Lexington Police Department for 11 years now.
Have you?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
I grew up here. I've actually grew up in the B3 area, all the way out by the county.
Good. You know this area well then.
I do.
That's
I do.
great.
Yes, sir.
That's great. So, okay.
I'd like to bring Officer Jeff Jones up next. Officer Jones and I actually came on to the agency together back in 1998. He's assigned to first shift a little bit now, so I'll let Jeff talk to you about his desire to become a police officer, why he's here, and his exposure to the agency.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Jeff Jones. I'm an 18-year veteran, like Commander Holland said. What drew me to law enforcement, my dad was a security police in the Air Force, and when he retired 30 years from the Air Force, he became a sheriff. And I guess it's just in the bloodline, so here I am. I was in the military, in the Marines as a MP, and then when I left the Marines, I came here as an officer. I've had a great opportunity here. I've been a recruiter, I've been an instructor, a trainer. I've been in the clear unit where I was able to network with the neighborhoods and the neighborhoods. A lot of many things with bridging that gap between some of the neighborhoods and police departments.
Good community officer then.
Yes, sir.
We've got some things for you to do yet.
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right, great.
Thank you,
Great
sir.
having you.
Thank you.
And then finally is Officer McAllister. She's assigned to second shift and actually patrols Beat 3, which is your district. So the community members are likely to see her out serving the community or out on a call. So let her talk a little bit about herself and her service and why she chose Lexington.
I'm Rebecca McAllister, and I've been working with the department for 9 years. I was born and raised in Lexington. My dad was an officer here in Lexington, so that's what kind of brought me to the Lexington PD.
Good. That's great. Yeah, are you second generation? Is that?
Second generation.
All
sir.
right. Yeah, good. Good to
She's
have
actually
you.
got a brother who works on the
Okay.
police department
So
as well.
it's
So.
in the family, big time then, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Okay, great. Good to have you.
Thank you.
Yeah, you be safe. I think that gives us an idea of what's going on at East Sector Roll Call Center, and we really thank Commander Holland and the officers that we've talked to for giving us information. And what we really like to do through the segment that we have is just promote the police and promote the roll call centers and the presence of the police, because as much information we can get out there, I think is better for even, not only the police department, Urban County government, but it's better for the community. And we've got contact information that we'll have on the screen about today's program, and questions or anything like that can be directed to myself. My email address is fbrown@lexingtonky.gov, or you can call myself or my legislative aide, Shantae Hall, 258-3220. And we thank the police department and the police for allowing us to come into their domain. Thank you so much.